The night my youngest daughter whispered, "Mama, I can't feel my fingers anymore." I knew our old shelter wouldn't survive another winter. At minus 63 degrees Celsius, the ice had already crept through the cracks like silent fingers of death. Let me take you back to 3 days ago. 3 days that changed everything. It was a Tuesday morning. I remember because Tuesdays are when I counter supplies: flour, rice, dried meat, firewood. The routine keeps me sane in this frozen wilderness. I woke up earlier than usual, around 4:30 a.m. The darkness here in winter is absolute. Swallowing everything, I heard it before I saw it. A dripping sound. Slow, steady, hypnotic. Drip, drip, drip. In a camp where everything should be frozen solid, water dripping is not a good sign. It's a warning. I lit my oil lamp with trembling hands, not from cold, but from the fear of what I might discover. The main support beam, the one my husband had installed 2 years ago, the one he promised would last a decade, had a crack running through it. Ice had formed inside the wood grain, expanding, splitting it from within. And now, with the slight warmth from our stove below, that ice was melting, dripping onto the floor where my children slept. I stood there, lamp in hand, watching water drop onto my son's blanket. He's only 5. He slept peacefully, completely unaware that the roof over his head was failing. That's when I knew. We had to build a new camp. Not next month. Not next week. Now, you might wonder how a shelter fails in these conditions. Let me explain. When we first built this camp, we were desperate. My husband had just passed away from pneumonia. I had 3 children, 40 sheep, and winter was coming. We built quickly, using whatever materials we could gather: recycled wood from an abandoned mining site, tar paper, some corrugated metal sheets. It served us well for the first year. Even the second year, it held strong. But this region, this brutal, unforgiving landscape, it tests everything. At minus 63 degrees, materials don't just wear down, they transform. Wood becomes brittle like biscuit. Metal contracts, creating gaps where there were none. The ground itself shifts as permafrost expands and contracts. Our camp had been built on survival, not strategy. And now, in our 3rd winter, it was giving up. The walls had started bowing inward from the weight of accumulated ice. The ventilation system I created was clogged with frost, causing dangerous carbon monoxide buildup from our heating stove. Worst of all, the foundation, we'd made the critical mistake of building directly on frozen ground without proper insulation beneath. As the ground shifted with the seasons, our entire structure had twisted. Doors wouldn't close properly. Windows, just plastic sheeting, really had torn, letting in the killing cold. Gaps appeared between walls and ceiling. 2 weeks ago, I'd wake up to find frost inside our shelter, inside, on the walls, on our blankets, on my children's hair. That Tuesday morning, as I watched water drip from our failing beam, I made a decision. I woke my eldest daughter, Katya. She's 8, but she's had to grow up faster than any child should. "Katya," I whispered, "wake up, sweetheart." She opened her eyes immediately. Children who grow up in these conditions learn to wake alert. It's a survival instinct. "What's wrong, Mama?" I showed her the crack. Showed her the dripping water. "We need to build a new camp." Her eyes widened. "When?" "Now today. We start today." I saw fear flash across her face, quickly replaced by that brave mask she wears. "What about our sheep? What about the little ones?" She meant her siblings. "We protect them all," I said, with more confidence than I felt. "But we need to move fast." That morning, I gathered all 3 children. Katya, 8 years old. Dmitri, 5. And little Aina, just 3. I sat them down and explained in terms they could understand. "You know how when your doll's house broke last month and we built a new one? I asked Aina. She nodded, her big eyes watching me. Our house needs the same thing. It's sick. The cold is making it weak. So Mama is going to build us a new, stronger house. A house that can keep us warm and safe. Dmitri, always practical, asked, "Where will we sleep while you build it?" "Smart boy. We'll section off the back part of this camp. Make it very warm and safe. You three will stay there with the sheep while I work on the new shelter. It will take time, but we'll do it together." That evening, after I'd scouted a location for our new camp, a spot more sheltered from the wind, on higher ground with better drainage, I sat alone outside our failing shelter. The cold at -63 is indescribable to those who haven't experienced it. It's not just cold, it's aggressive. It attacks exposed skin within seconds. Your eyelashes freeze together if you blink too slowly. Breathing hurts. Each breath feels like swallowing glass, but sitting there, looking at the camp that had protected us for 2 years, I felt something deeper than physical cold. I felt the weight of responsibility that my husband built this place with his own hands. Every nail, every board carried his fingerprints. This wasn't just a structure, it was his last gift to us. His legacy. And now I was going to abandon it. I cried. The tears froze on my cheeks almost immediately, tiny crystals of grief. But through those tears, I saw clearly, holding on to the past, no matter how precious, can't come at the cost of my children's future. My husband would have wanted them safe. He would have wanted them alive. Sentiment is a luxury. In -63 degrees, survival is the only currency that matters. Wednesday morning, I began. The location I'd chosen was about 200 meters from our current camp, close enough to monitor the children and sheep, far enough to have fresh, undisturbed ground. First task, clear the snow. In this cold, snow doesn't behave like the fluffy powder you might imagine. It's dense, compacted, almost ice-like. I used a shovel, but it was like chipping away at concrete. My hands, even in thick gloves, went numb within 20 minutes. I'd work for 20 minutes, then return to our old camp to warm up by the stove for 10 minutes, then back out. 20 on, 10 off. All day. By noon, I cleared a space about 4 meters by 5 meters. Not big, but enough for a basic shelter for the 5 of us, me, 3 children, and our supplies. The sheep would have their own adjoining section. Kahia brought me tea. Hot, sweet tea in a thermos. "Mama, your lips are blue," she said, worry creasing her young forehead. "I'm okay, sweet girl. The cold makes everyone look a little blue." She wasn't fooled. "You need to rest more." 8 years old, and she was mothering me. It broke my heart and filled it simultaneously. The key to building in extreme cold is understanding your materials. Wood that's brittle at -63 needs to be treated differently. I'd salvaged some good timber from an abandoned structure 3 kilometers away, railway ties. Mostly treated wood that resists moisture. For the foundation, I learned from my mistakes. This time, I laid down a base of gravel and large stones, creating a barrier between the frozen ground and our floor. On top of that, insulation layers of compressed moss, old blankets, anything to prevent ground cold from seeping up. The walls, I framed them with the railway timber, then doubled the walls. Outside wall, air gap, inside wall. That air gap is crucial. It provides insulation better than any single thick wall could. Working alone, progress was slow. Brutally slow. Thursday, I got the foundation and floor complete. Friday, 2 walls went up. Saturday, I worked through a blizzard to complete the 3rd wall. The wind was so strong it knocked me over twice. My fingers were so cold, I couldn't feel if I was holding the hammer or not. I had to look to make sure, but I kept working because every hour I delayed was an hour my children spent in a failing shelter. Sunday morning, something unexpected happened. I heard voices. Out here in this isolated wilderness, voices are rare. An old shepherd named Mikhail appeared, leading two of his adult sons. He had heard somehow news travels, even in frozen wastelands, that I was building a new camp alone. No woman should do this alone, he said simply.
Help.
We help. I wanted to cry again, wanted to hug him. But at minus 63,
we found
emotional
her.
displays waste precious energy. Thank you, I said. Just that. But those two words carried everything. With 3 extra pairs of hands, the work transformed. What would have taken me 2 more weeks took 2 more days. The roof went up. A proper peaked roof this time, designed to shed snow rather than collect it. We used metal sheeting, properly overlapped and sealed. The door, a real door with hinges and a frame that fits snugly. Windows small, triple paned with plastic sheeting, minimal heat loss. A proper ventilation system with pipes that wouldn't freeze. Inside, we built a raised sleeping platform away from the floor cold.
Be safe.
A better stove location. Storage shelves that wouldn't touch exterior walls. Tuesday evening exactly. 1 week after that trip woke me up, we moved into our new camp. I carried Aina. Katya held Dimitri's hand. We walked together from the old shelter to the new one. Each of us carrying something: blankets, supplies, precious photographs. The sheep followed. As if they understood this was home now, I lit the stove in our new camp. Within an hour, it was warm. Genuinely warm. The children sat on the new sleeping platform, eyes wide. It's so cozy, Mama, Dimitri said. Katya touched the walls, testing them. It feels strong. That night, for the first time in months, we all slept deeply. No dripping water. No ice forming on the inside walls. No fear of the ceiling collapsing. Just warmth, safety, peace. As I sit here now, in our new camp, watching my children sleep safely, I think about everything that led us here. The old camp didn't fail because we built it wrong. It failed because we built it in crisis. Without time to plan, without resources. This new camp represents something different. It represents choice, planning, community, strength. At minus 63 degrees Celsius, you learn what truly matters. It's not the past. No matter how precious. It's not pride or stubbornness. It's survival. It's adaptation. It's the willingness to let go of what's failing and build something better. I'm a shepherd mother. I protect my flock, both the woolly ones and the ones who call me Mama. And now, in this new shelter built with determination, tears, frozen fingers, and the kindness of neighbors, we're not just surviving, we're living. And in minus 63 degrees, that's a victory.